Right?
You're gonna eat hot soup.
Yeah, I'll do
with
it.
your hand.
I'll do it.
No, I'll
You're
wait.
gonna
third degree burn your hand.
You're gonna
I'll
stab-
wait,
you're gonna
blow it
stab
off,
somebody?
and tip the bowl.
You're gonna stab somebody? What, with a spoon?
Who the fuck am I stabbing?
That's
Who the
number
fuck
three.
is spooning?
Sorry, I just got us fired.
The comments here do not reflect the real estate wire.
Last one.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan the Realtor. Why does Bob Kiyosaki say a crash is imminent? And why is he wrong? Mr. Cooper is suing. We got the DMV real estate report, the real estate hot or not. Then we're going to jump into the comments section. Welcome to the Real Estate Wire, folks. What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan the Realtor.
Coach Marcus, what's up?
And today we got a reoccurring guest. We got Michael Dufour.
What up,
I
Mike?
didn't know if you were introducing me or not. Or like you wanted me to say my name.
He's
All
like,
right,
I can introduce
let's
myself.
do that. Let's take that one back.
I said I can introduce myself. I don't need you to speak for me.
I like to hype you up and then like bring it down. We got a special guest, Michael Dufour.
Yeah.
What's going on, Michael?
Not much.
You go by Michael or Mike?
I go by either.
Can I call you Mikey?
No.
No.
Literally no.
So not anything.
He's too grown to be calling some grown man.
I know. I just
Mike.
like to see where the limits are. You know me. I like to push the limits.
I've only been called
You don't
Mikey
even
by
need to
one
ask.
person in my life.
Who? Your mom?
No, it was a friend of my
Oh, yeah,
family,
a
and I
friend's
hated
mom.
it every time she called
Really?
me Mikey. Oh yeah, I despise that name.
Wait a minute.
What about but people call me Danny, and I'm like,
No,
Those are all your church ladies.
I hate it.
Mikey is very different. It's kind of.
To me, it's
Taunting.
demeaning.
It is,
like
yeah.
it makes me like, and I'm a 6'4" guy. Like I don't
belittling.
like feeling small, and that makes me
So if you
feel
want
really
to smoke
small.
from Michael Dufour,
Call him Mikey.
call him Mikey. And you can get all 6'5" of those hands.
So
you
guess what?
don't want me to respond. Call me
said,
Mikey.
let me. He said he was 6'3" earlier. He just said he's 6'4". You call him 6'5". How tall are you?
No, he's 6'1".
6'3",
He's probably
6'4", something like that.
Six,
We
you don't
we
know.
had this whole conversation.
I give you
Anybody
5'11".
above 6 feet goes, I'm 6'3", 6'4". Like I don't know where I am. I haven't been measured in literally 10 years, so I'm somewhere in that range.
But you're gonna shrink as you get older.
Probably.
You do know that.
Only
Yeah,
six.
I won't
only
be shrinking to his level though.
Only 6 feet. Wait, which body part are you talking about?
Wait, time out. Pause.
Oh. I wasn't sure.
This is a family show.
It's a family show.
Remember the rules. It's a family show.
Oh, did we tell you the rules, Michael?
He knows the
No,
rules.
I already dropped an F-bomb, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
right.
sure it's not a family
Okay, you
show.
only get one F-bomb per show.
That's why I
okay,
said
so this
you
is
had to-
ESPN then?
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
ESPN.
you had to bleep it. You had to bleep it anyway.
You get the biblical cuss words though,
Oh, okay.
so you can say we can say damn, right? And like,
We don't need to.
right, we don't need
Holy
to.
Moses.
Holy. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of Holy Moses,
Oh boy.
Bob Kiyosaki says that there's going to be a real estate crash here, and it's going to be spurred on by Airbnbs. And I have an article to the contrary, and I have information to the contrary. Like we talked about on a whole bunch of shows, crashes or real estate crashes usually happen when there's an abundance of inventory. You might remember the housing crash of 2008. Even if you didn't own a home at the time and you're worried that there's going to be a repeat of what happened back then, here's some good news. The housing market is way different than 2008. I'm reading from an article from Keep It Current Matters. One of the reasons is there's just not enough homes for sale. And we at the Real Estate Wire Squad, we've been talking about that for a minute, right, Mike?
I mean, last time we were here, I was here. We were saying the same exact thing.
In every
There's
single video
no
you
inventory.
do, all your content.
It mentioned I made 3 videos in the last 2 days that are talking about that. I made one this morning that was somebody was saying there's a resale shortage or people are retaining their homes and that's why there's like no inventory. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly why there's no inventory. People don't want to sell.
So if we look at this chart here, the average annual inventory of homes in 2008, we had about 10.4 months of inventory, months of supply, which means if nobody else put their house on the market, it would take us 10 months to completely run out of houses. And that was how much inventory we had in 2008. We had 10 months. Now, even in 2022, and during the pandemic, it was even less. Now we've bumped up to about 3 months of inventory. So if nobody put their house on the market today, we would completely run out of houses in 3 months.
In the entire U.S., like the point is in the whole U.S.
Yeah.
That's not just the DMV area. That's everywhere, which is just wild.
Yeah, so So okay, let's play devil's advocate. Why would Bob Kiyosaki say that? He's saying that there's a lot of the Airbnb people who bought their houses, bought them speculatively. If you didn't buy your Airbnb to cash flow without Airbnb, then you probably bought it wrong. So a lot of people were speculating. And since the country, most states everywhere are cracking down on Airbnb regulations now, and Bob is saying because of that, these Airbnb owners are going to have to do like a fire sale, and we're going to get flooded with inventory. We're going to have a 2008 situation.
Except for the fact that in 2008, we had inventory, as you just pointed out, and right now we don't have any inventory. So all this is going to do is flood the market with inventory for buyers to grab or to lower price points.
Which areas are cracking down on Airbnb the most? We know that New York is, right?
Mm-hmm.
DC.
Texas popped on. I think Houston cracked down pretty hard, and I think California is coming out with some regulations too.
Mm-hmm. We know who's not, though. We know Florida's not.
No.
Because it's too much of a moneymaker. Sun and sand and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
It's too. Florida's
Although
too
if Disney does have anything to say about it, and if they ever make up their mind on what they want, that'll make the decision for Florida, and we all know that.
You think Disney swings the biggest bat?
Look at how attacking Disney destroyed Ron DeSantis. You don't mess with the mouse. It's that simple.
Did it destroy Ron DeSantis?
The man was the front runner for the Republican Party, and now have you heard anything about him?
Was he ever the front runner
to take on Trump? Yes.
Right.
To now,
he's still ahead in the polls.
Now he's compared to who?
Vivek Ramaswamy
exactly.
and Nikki
Nobody
Haley.
else.
So that's what I'm saying. He's still in second place.
But his point percentage is like in the 10s, and it was in the 20s to 30s.
I think more of that has to do with with obviously Donald Trump, and I think also it has a lot to do with the fact that he hasn't really. He's the smartest guy in the Republican Party, obviously.
Who?
But his campaign. Ron DeSantis by far.
Okay.
If you've ever heard,
I just want to know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Ron DeSantis by far. But he's not a good he's not charismatic. He's not like sexy. He doesn't give like the cool lines. I think that had a lot to do with it too.
I really think him attacking Disney did not help at all.
It depends on what you mean by help. Who it helped with, like with his base, it helped for sure.
Yes,
with
the rest of the group, yeah.
Right. And then the Democrats who want to make him out to be like this like Nazi person, which they make everybody out to be a Nazi. Because remember, George Bush used to be a Nazi, and now then Donald Trump used to be a Nazi, and now Ron DeSantis is a Nazi. So anybody who doesn't agree with the Democrats is a Nazi, essentially, according to them. But I don't think it hurt him with Disney. I think Disney hurt themselves, and then they fired. Then they fire their CEO and replace the CEO with another person. I'm not really up on that.
I'm not up on that part. I was just following the whole him versus Disney and trying to shut them down as everything, and they just turned around and
because of what reason?
Said no. He was trying to shut them down because of their stance on gay rights and their acceptance of people, pretty much. And then they were like, and so what he tried to do. Disney has basically been operating as their own government forever because of the tract of land they have and how it's set up. Like they have their own police system, they have their own fire system. It's pretty cool and also concerning, but that's a whole side thing. But DeSantis was trying to shut that down using the correct council members and like trying to get that vote. Disney went and said no and basically flipped the entire council and shut down any option he had to shut them down with what they're doing.
You know what's funny about that?
Why was he trying to shut them down though? Why was DeSantis trying to shut?
Because
Disney
he
down?
just put out all the policy of his transphobia and everything else. He was trying to shut down people. What did he do? He shut down books in schools and was not allowing transgenders in bathrooms and all that. And Disney opposed that policy. And they were supporting gays' rights and have their own set policy. And so it got into this whole tit for tat on they're not following what the governor of the state has said.
Yeah.
And then...
You know what's wild about that is that, like, you don't really realize how strong of influence Disney has, like, worldwide. Like, they are everywhere. Everybody knows Mickey. And like, if you've been, have you been with your child yet?
Oh yeah.
It's I don't ever want to go again.
I don't want to go to Disneyland, bro. Like, to me,
you haven't ever been?
My wife wants to go, and to me, I'm just like, why?
And when you go, it will
To
solidify
stand
the
in
fact.
line for 75
It
minutes
will
for one
solidify the
ride?
fact
Like,
that you never want to go again.
You did it wrong. I say you did it. My wife's a season pass holder.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy going. I don't like going as much as she does.
Sure.
But you did it
so
wrong.
you got to get the fast pass, right?
No. So what you got to do is you got to do a family day, and then you got to do an adult day. And the adult day makes up for the family day. Like you got to get grandma to come with you or something so that they watch the kid on the other day and go do their little rides, but then also leave the park. And then you go to Epcot and get drunk as hell. And drink around the world and go have a fun time and try all the food and everything. And that's
right.
It's crowded, yes, but it's still incredibly fun. And then you're enjoying rides.
What time of the year do you go?
So I don't go in the winter because in the winter everybody is going to.
Is that right?
Yes.
I thought it was the opposite.
No,
Bro, I went in July.
Really?
Oh my!
How was it?
It was 1 billion degrees. It was 1 billion people.
1 billion degrees, 1 billion people.
And it cost $1 billion.
$1 billion. 3 billion
to go to
we go
the
in
restaurants
like
and all
the February, March time frame. Nobody's on spring break yet. Nobody's on winter break. It's not overly hot down there as well.
Is it a lot of walking, bro?
It's
all walking. Yeah,
okay.
You're gonna walk 5 miles. 10
yeah,
I mean it's yeah. But
jury's still out on Disneyland. I like a good Six Flags, a good Busch Gardens. Call it.
That's too hood, and it's too close.
I need some more hood.
How many times you been to Busch Gardens?
You mean with my kid or just in my lifetime? 20.
Go Wild World, Six Flags.
You old head. Wild World.
Wild World, Six Flags. So far away from real estate, and I have a feeling the last 15 minutes are not making it on the podcast.
Here's why amusement parks are part of real estate, because they're on land. Real estate.
Yeah, that's commercial real estate, bro. That's not what we do at all.
If they knock down one of these amusement parks, that will give us more inventory that we can like sell to our clients. That will actually drop the prices because we can flood the market with more inventory. And we
Great segue.
Even out this market.
Great segue. We've been working on them.
Speaking of mortgages, Mr. Cooper is suing ACI.
Yeah.
Why? What's going on there, Coach? Let's get into the coach's corner, shall we?
So ACI is a servicing company. So if anybody remembers from probably 15 years ago, Nation Star Mortgage was a lender. And by the way, we take the middle score. We don't use a high or low score, right? Nation Star, I remember when I used to send deals.
Wait, hold on. Go back to that because I still think people will be confused and think we're averaging. When we say middle score, we mean like if you've got a 700, a 710, and 720, we're not adding those all up and dividing by 3. It is your score is a 710.
You're right. The 710 is what we drive your loan off of. Back in the day, Nation Star actually used to do the averaging. So it can be good and bad depending on what your scores were. But then they changed their name to Mr. Cooper. And funny as it is, the first time I heard of it, it was from some people saying, I have a loan with Mr. Cooper. And I was thinking like, who's Mr. Cooper? Like thinking as I didn't
like
hear
a real person.
Yeah, the gym teacher from down at the high school.
Right. Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Mark Curry, right? But I hadn't heard of the change back then. But the reality is they have a servicing center. So and there's a servicing company called ACI Worldwide. ACI Worldwide end up paying a $25 million fine to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau for illegally charging borrowers. Actually 3 years ago, so 3.5 years ago, in April 2021. So here's what happened. Nation Star had a confidential database of, so when you get a mortgage, your information remains confidential, right? But they were using ACI as a servicing company. You call in, need information on your account.
So what's a servicing company do?
So you call it. That's what I was going to get to. You call. It's what it sounds like. They service the loan, right? They take care of all the nuts and bolts of the loan. You call in and need information about your payment. You call and need a modification. You're talking to this servicing company who is serving you on behalf of Nation Star Mortgage. So what happened was they had access to NationStar's confidential customer information database. So they were doing some sort of quality assurance testing, and then when they were doing that testing, it triggered mortgage payments that weren't supposed to be paid. So your payment's due on the first. Grace period to like the 15th. So when they started doing this quality assurance testing, people had already paid their mortgage, but then they were having money automatically drafted out of their accounts again. So it like caused a lot of people overdraft, insufficient funds, and some people had their bank accounts frozen. So because of the lack of service and the disservice to their clients, Mr. Cooper like started suing the company they partnered with.
Well, Mr. Cooper's now a servicing company. They don't outsource that anymore because like my company, I work for NFM Lending, and we use Mr. Cooper as a servicer.
Oh, is that right?
And we
so they don't originate loans no more.
They originate loans on their own, but they also like it's just like Wells Fargo or any of the other big banks. They hold the loan. Unlike my company, they'll hold the loan. We hold it. We hold a certain portfolio for only certain types of loans, but for general Fannie Mae, Freddie, FHA, or your standard loans, we're going to sell it off on the secondary market. And Mr. Cooper's one of our servicers.
So how's business, Michael?
Slower.
Yeah.
We usually see a boom in the fall, but right now, I mean, I think people are scared with the rates. That's really what it is.
Everything went over like overnight average 7.5 on conventional.
Well, it's a combo of factors. Like we talked about, the inventory's low, so there's not a lot for people to find. But when they do find something, it's higher price for less of the home than they're expecting, and they've got a mid-sevens interest rate. So they're paying more, and they're not finding a lot. Like so, it's all a combo of things. The reality is the people that are buying, and I mean, I still do have buyers. It's just slower than what we've been used to over the past 3 years. But the reality is, if you buy now, you got a better shot than those who are going to be buying in a year or two when rates drop. Because when rates drop, we're still going to have our inventory issue. People will start turning over their homes a little bit more, but we're not going to have a massive influx of inventory like everybody thinks we will, which would drive down prices. Instead, we're going to have an influx of buyers, and a lot of those buyers are going to be cash rich because they're selling their homes at higher prices than what they bought them for. So they're going to go out and put $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 more down on the next house, which is going to jump prices right back up. So the solution is deal with the higher interest rate, deal with the higher price point right now, assume your price is going to go up once everybody else starts buying again, and you can just refinance when things drop down.
Yes. I think people, and I mean, I think we were talking about this before we started recording. I mean, we're seeing, I'm going to get into the stats in a second, the DMV market report, but I think like we're starting to see like an official, like, not I'll say official, but definitely seeing some stagflation going on. Like we're having inflation, prices continue to go up, and then also they're just kind of staying the same, and people are kind of like just sitting out of the market. I guess I was watching Tom Ferry. You ever heard of Tom Ferry? No, you
love Tom Ferry.
Oh, okay, you never heard of Robert Kiyosaki?
Hey, you know Tom Ferry.
God damn.
But
chill.
Tom Ferry was talking about. He was like, "Dude, nobody's going to save you." I think everybody was waiting for this most recent meeting on the 20th, and like, okay, finally the Fed are going to drop rates and things will be great again, and the roses and the sun will come out. And it's like, yo, ain't nobody going to save you. The interest rates are going to be what they are. But I think you hit on a very valuable point, Mike, which is this is how the rich get richer and the poor stay poorer, because the poor are waiting on the sidelines watching the train go by, and the rich, wealthy, or even moderately income people are like taking action. So even in a 7% interest rate market, it's like, oh yeah, prices are high, but they're going to be higher. We can pretty much say with a reasonable degree of certainty, prices will be higher in a year from now.
It's going to be 2020 to 2022 all over again, because we said this last time on the last time I was here. If the rates, I mean, if is the wrong word because it's when.
Inevitably,
It's inevitable. It's just like with 2020 to 2022, they lowered rates and rates went down.
Yeah.
The Fed is going to start lowering rates eventually. We can't forever keep inflating rates, or we're getting inflation under control. We have to start at some point making consumer goods affordable again for the average American. But when they come down, they're not going to come down the massive amount. Like, we're not seeing 3% again.
Yeah.
That's not happening. And if we do, honestly, I might move to a different country because that's just going to kill our economy again. Like, the 3% interest rate has destroyed our economy.
Dude,
in a way people don't realize.
Yo, Marcus, remember, I said this before, I'll say it again. I think 2% interest rates were the worst thing that ever happened to the real estate market. And people are like, no, it was the best thing that ever happened to the real estate market. No. You have to look at the rebound effect that happened when you drop interest rates that fast. It shoots prices up.
And then they held them too long.
And
that was the other thing. They held them for 6 months too long. If we had started the raise 6 months earlier,
creep up a little bit at a time,
it would have been a lot less. The inflation would have gotten under control faster. What people also have to remember too is how quick rates didn't drop. Like, we went from 5%, and it took time to get down to 3%. It wasn't 5% to 3% overnight. There were several incremental lowers. And the other part too is the Fed lowered rates at larger increments than they're going to lower them now. What's going to happen is it's going to take time. When they just paused rates at the last meeting, that was the second pause in a row.
Yep.
Rates went up. The market's still not sure about what's going to happen. So everybody's hedging their bets. It's going to take time. You got to wait. It's going to probably be another year before we start seeing it. But, I mean, in the next few meetings, they'll probably pause. In my opinion, they're probably going to pause again at the next meeting because they saw the reaction of the market at this meeting.
Yep.
If they raise it, things are going to get even worse.
But here's the thing to add to that is, we're anticipating, we're foreseeing, we're not fortune tellers, we're foreseeing eventually they're going to lower the rates. That doesn't translate to, that means I should wait until they lower rates to do something. No, it means that you should grab now, and then when they do, you'll be already in position to go ahead and do your refinance and be able to take advantage of the lower rates.
You're going to see 15 to 20 buyers offers on every single house again.
We're starting to see that now.
We still see it.
You see double digits.
Yeah.
And a long time ago, two things that stand out to me. The man with the gold makes the rules. I had my first boss say that to me. And, we're talking about people not understanding guidelines, or how come you can't do this? How come you can't do that? Because it's my goal. You want it. You got it. You got to do what you got to do to get it. But the other thing that I remember is that they said that fortunes are made in a down market. And if you think about it now, like, you have people, if you're listening and you're working and you've been in your job for a while, you have money to invest. You have money somewhere. You just don't know that you've got it. Even if it's a matter, Ryan talked about it before, about asking friends and family, like creating a vision and creating a pool of money to where you can go. And even if you're not buying it to live in it, you buy an investment property, wait until the market changes, because you'll make money on it while you own it. Wait till the market changes, you sell it, whenever it's time, because in 2 years the market's going to be wild again. If we drop these rates, you'll sell that property, you split your equity, you go and you buy something else. 2% rate, interest rates, it was bad overall, but it was good for the people that could get it, right? So those that had a home that could refinance,
for sure,
streamline, you want to buy, you got in line, you got your contract accepted, great. You won, so to speak. I think there's another thing that that makes me think, like, y'all remember when toilet paper, sanitizer, and whatever else, right, was
baby formula.
Yeah, it was on the shelves, and then it no longer was on the shelves. And now we have people that have gotten used to spending a premium for any item you go into the grocery store for, right? Milk or whatever. If inflation comes down and they drop the prices on, like you see on your shelves for everything, right? And if it comes down $1 or whatever, you're going to see no toilet paper, no milk, no, like, whatever. It's going to be gone. It's going to be a shortage, right? And if you remember the tangible things, it's going to be the same way for a house.
Mm-hmm.
If they drop the rate, if the drop in the rate, the price goes up, right? Because there's so many, the demand goes up. Okay, well, now you're competing. So the price of the property going to go up when the rates come down. I don't know that will ever happen in the grocery stores, but it might. But I think, but if you're listening to this think, man, like you got to get in where you can. Find a way. Like that's my point. Find a way to get in where you can because it's worth it. Very much so.
Well, the other thing too with the housing market, creating supply like you're talking about with the toilet paper and everything else, they can lower prices because they can create a supply. We can't create a supply that is sufficient enough to lower prices in the housing market because costs of goods are up.
Yeah.
If builders went out and built 5 million new homes this year alone or had them done in 3 months, that's great. We have 5 million new homes in the market, but it costs them what, 20-30% more to build the house now. So they got to sell what would have been a $300,000 house for $375,000.
Because they got
$400,000.
You got to pay your contractors, you got to pay materials,
you got to be
transportation costs.
Inward, the margins that we've been talking.
So the affordable house, nobody's building the affordable house because there's no profit in it.
Yep. And that gets us into the DMV real estate report. So very quickly, new listings are down 22% from this time last year, 3% from last month. New pendings are down 18% from last year, 9% from last month. Closed sales are up, down 15% from last year and up 4% from last month. And the home median sold price is the same, $550,000. 3 months in a row. 3 months in a row, we've had the same median sales price of $550,000, bro.
Do you have what it was last year?
It's up from last year. Last year it was $520,000, the median sale price. This year is $550,000. If it goes up another 5% next year, it'll be up another. It'll be up another $575 or some change. It's just going to keep going up $20,000 a year while you guys are waiting. So the people who are waiting inside their house, we're winning because our houses are continuing to go up in value, and the people who are waiting in their apartments are losing because they're waiting for the interest rates to go down, which is the wrong thing to wait for.
But this is nothing new, though. That's the thing. Like, although
it's been like that since 1986.
It's been forever. My grandparents' house that they bought it, and they built for $30,000 or whatever.
Facts.
It's worth $400,000. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's what it is. I mean, real estate is an investment. Anytime you make an investment, there are times where you can lose out on the investment. Is that a gamble? Some people look at it that way, but like when you invest the right way, it wins at the end. Like you don't lose at the end. It's always.
And the mentality has to shift too, because most people think it's a quick turnaround. Right now, it might be a quick turnaround because prices are jumping up. I mean, since 2020, they've been up what? 20% or so.
Yep.
So yeah, right now it's a quick turnaround. In general, it's a 10 to 15 year wait before you see any real, like, tangible major profit. You would have to wait. It's a long-term investment. You're getting a 30-year mortgage. You're not doing this overnight. You got to remember that when trying to invest properly in real estate.
Yeah.
So that takes us to the next segment of the Real Estate Wire podcast. Make sure, if you're watching on YouTube, to like, subscribe, share this content with anybody that you think might think is dope. Because if you think it's dope, they're probably going to like it too. If you're listening on Apple, iTunes, make sure to leave a comment and tell us how dope you think the show is. Tell us how cool you think Mike Dufour is. Because what can Mike do for? What can Michael do?
Not Dufour. Dufour.
Michael don't Dufour.
Although
he do for you.
I do like Dufour, like money. Dough. I like that. That's pretty cool. I've never heard that one.
Let's get into the real estate hot
or not. We got a couple different ones. Let me throw some things at you. One got to go. Music Edition. I don't know. We're gonna find out where you at, Mike.
Oh boy, this could be really good or really bad.
They can't go. They're one of my favorites, bro.
I'm
But-
scared.
One got to go. Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, Biggie, or Eminem.
That's 5.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just reading today.
Nas.
Oh, I don't like you. Okay, one got to go.
Wait. What about me?
My bad. You weren't able to listen to hip hop back then when.
But I know who they are.
Well, go ahead.
Nas can go.
Thank
I don't
you.
like neither,
And,
I don't like neither one of
Tupac
y'all.
can go.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
like-
How are you gonna knock out literally the other 4? Some are the top 5 of best rappers of all time.
I'll get rid of Eminem too if you're playing around.
Yeah, Eminem can go.
If you're trying to tell me Eminem is not in one of the top 5 of best rappers of all time, you're not
He
listening
good.
to hip hop, right?
Like not mine,
He
but
good. He's a good rapper. He's not in my top 5 though.
yeah, he just
I
yeah.
can't put him in my top 5.
For me, I mean, either Eminem can go first, but Biggie can go right after that.
Biggie.
Biggie can go right.
You
after
mean Biggie Smalls?
that. Yeah, like Notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace
That's tough.
from Brooklyn.
That's just so. I mean,
I lost a little bit of respect for
but
you.
from the
you're
list.
getting rid of Big Papa.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
from
come on.
from the list. I'm talking about mine. I'm talking about me.
PPA?
I know.
No
No
info
info
for the DEA?
Yeah, I know it.
All right.
I'm
Okay.
with it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just saying for me because anyway.
Okay. See, you bumping Nas over Biggie?
And I was like almost like my favorite of all
I
time.
couldn't name one Nas song. I literally
You
couldn't.
wild. You need to. Anyway, I'll teach a class later. One got to go: Italian ice, slushies, popsicles, or frozen yogurt.
Frozen yogurt, bro. What is that?
It's banging.
Slushies.
Slushies.
Yeah.
What is slushies, bro?
It's
weird.
like
What's a
it's
slushie?
it's like
like a
shaved
Slurpee,
ice,
no?
but
It's
like
like
with
a
all
Slurpee.
flavored sugar. Like that's all
It's
it
just
is.
syrup water, bro.
Exactly.
It's gross.
With like chunks of ice.
It's gross.
Well, that's why I said get rid of it.
Yeah, it's gross.
Why are you keeping frozen or getting rid of frozen yogurt if you don't like slushies?
I don't like slushies. I don't like the concept of slushies. It's just a melted popsicle. Frozen yogurt, you shouldn't be freezing yogurt because it's freaking gross.
It's good.
You never had sweet frog?
You know why you like it? Because it's cold, and cold
I do,
diminishes
I
the
just-
flavor of things. That's why you like it.
I'm gonna come back to the one guy to go. Would you rather run at 100 miles, be able to run at 100 miles an hour,
Ooh.
or fly at 20 miles an hour?
Oh, I've heard this one before, but it was like fly at 5 miles an hour, like real slow. I think I'm flying 20 miles an hour. That's not slow.
That's not.
Yeah,
That's,
I mean you're not like crossing the globe or anything, but I could get downtown pretty quick.
yeah.
I think I'll run, bro. I like a good run.
Yeah, but you got to dodge shit at 100 miles an hour.
Here's another one.
Flying 20
We
miles
got-
an hour,
we
there's
got
nothing to
push-ups.
dodge.
No,
you
no,
just
no.
go.
I'm okay with that. It's like riding a motorcycle. When you ride a motorcycle like 100 miles an hour, everybody's moving in slow motion. so you can be like,
I've never ridden a motorcycle.
oh, I have. I've
but
been like 130 miles. On
I'm so
the road.
straight. I'm so straight.
I've never
Mm-mm.
ridden a motorcycle.
I know I have. Yeah, I'm a fly. I'm a fly.
That's why you
bro.
guys are lenders. You like to play it safe.
I'm a fly.
Yeah.
What we don't do is play it safe. No,
What we do is lending, playing it safe.
bro.
I'm hitting y'all with a machine
We
gun.
got CFPB and Trit and RESPA and cures on stuff that you don't even.
Exactly.
Everybody
Boy,
thinking we're
that
still
ain't our
car
fault.
salesmen from
Right.
2008. Like,
Exactly. That's why
Jesus.
y'all don't ride motorcycles.
The most.
I was in 8th grade in 2008. I was
Doing
Doing this.
What was I doing in 8th grade?
2008.
2008? I was in nursing. I was a nurse.
I was already a homeowner in 2008. I was.
y'all are old.
I was on my second property. As a matter of fact, I was grown. I was grown.
I think you pronounced wise incorrectly.
He was supposed to spell it OLD. Would you rather have 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife, or always have a knife but never be able to use a spoon?
Spoons.
Knives.
I love soup. Ice
I like
cream.
to cut
Like
people.
anything you need a spoon to eat, you will
I-
never be able to eat again. I can find a way to cut something with a spoon.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I can balance what I want on.
But what if somebody brings it to your house?
That's
and
why I
you need
want.
a knife?
That's why I
Cut the
want to
knife.
always have a knife but never be able to use a spoon. I'm good with a spoon. I can figure out.
Yeah, I can eat with my hands.
Yeah,
Take the knife.
you got a big spoon
Spoon.
right here.
I got 2 spoons right here.
You're gonna eat hot soup
Yeah, I'll do
with
it.
your hand.
I'll do it.
Nah, I'll
You're
wait.
gonna- you're gonna-
third degree burn your hand.
You're gonna
I'll
stab-
wait,
you're gonna
blow it
stab
off,
somebody?
and tip the bowl.
You're gonna stab somebody? What, with a spoon?
Who the fuck am I stabbing?
That's
Who the
number
fuck
three.
you calling?
Number three, Mike.
Sorry, I just got us fired.
The comments here do not reflect the Real Estate
All
Wire
right,
podcast.
last one. Would you rather? Would you rather be the funniest person in the room or the smartest person in the room?
Smart.
Yeah, I think smart.
Yeah, we all in agreement.
Yeah.
Smart. All right, back to one. Got to go.
Last one.
Last two. No, last two.
All right.
This is the Captain Crunch edition.
Captain.
Oh
Crunch.
boy.
I'll take all of them.
One,
Next.
one got to go. The original Captain Crunch got to go, or Crunch Berries got to go,
I hate you.
or All Berries got to go, or Peanut Butter Crunch got to go.
Peanut butter crunch gotta go.
Oh no.
Nah, I'm a berry flavor.
I'll get rid of the original.
There's just
So you said
something
peanut
about
butter gotta
the
go?
original that
I
you
know.
just
I don't like
All
the way. I
all
don't like
berries
the way
gotta
it
go for me.
changes the flavor of the milk. It puts this like film on the top of
Oh
the milk.
yeah.
I don't like the milk
You a
film.
you a sweet Saturday
connoisseur,
morning
I'm a connoisseur.
cereal connoisseur.
I'm a connoisseur. Yeah, I know about all of it. The palate.
And you know what this also tells me?
Mm.
That after you got out of school and had the option of being able to eat something different, you still chose to eat cereal for breakfast
Yeah,
and
bro,
for
I got
dinner.
a
Why-
Peter Pan complex.
why couldn't you choose what to eat in school?
No, I could. He's
Oh.
saying that I ate so much cereal in school. I loved it so much.
Yeah, you just
And in my adult life, I just continued
Yeah.
eating like multiple. I
just-
actually
Yeah.
exploded.
let me get some
more
cereal. Let me eat that for dinner.
Dude, I
Or-
used to buy like 5-6 boxes of cereal.
Cereal
or
as
be
a
so-
late night snack
or be so broke you can't afford nothing but cereal.
is slept on big time. Like
Ce-
I love like a 10 o'clock bowl of cereal.
Bro, I've never
It's-
lost with a
it's
bowl of cereal,
great.
bro. Never lose.
You don't.
Pour it, clutch. Now, here's the question. Do you like a 50% pour or a 75% pour?
I'd rather
I'll
have
probably
more
go
milk
75.
and get to throw more cereal in after.
No, the
Then-
real question is: do you put your milk in first or
Cereal
your cereal
first. It's,
Cereal
it's
first.
not
Cereal
even.
first.
It's not even a
When
question.
I see people
I
like
knew
dumping
you were going to
cereal-
come with that question, and I was ready for it as soon as you started saying
When
it.
people are splashing cereal into the milk, I'm like, what?
What
That's
are
so
you doing?
backwards.
The only time I'm putting cereal into milk is like I just said, if I have
When you-
already had one bowl and
when
I
you
have
re-up.
milk left over and I'm re-upping.
Yeah,
That
you
is the
re-up.
only time.
So the real question is cereal really just breakfast soup?
Wow.
I don't
Breakfast
like
gazpacho.
what this did to my head.
That's wild. I don't know.
Because
But
yes,
here's the
you're not wrong.
All right, here's the last one. The last
It
one.
just hurts my brain. It's like when somebody's like, a hot dog's just a sandwich. No, a hot dog's a hot dog, but it also.
Mm.
Welcome to my
Last
brain.
one. Last one.
All right.
Potato edition.
Potato edition?
One got to go.
All of
Potato chips,
Mm.
or baked potatoes, or potato salad, or mashed potatoes. One got
Potato
to go.
salad. It's just
Yeah.
cold, lumpy.
But you have to warm your potato salad up. That's what everybody
Warm-
always says, "Oh, you eat warm potato salad?" Yeah, I eat warm potato salad. I hate cold
Warm potato salad is actually pretty banging, but I can't
Yeah,
ever let
you
potato
got-
salad
I never
go.
eat cold potato salad.
If my
It
mama's
doesn't
making
make
potato
sense.
salad, I got to have it.
I can't eat it cold. I always
Shout out
tell
to
them to
Kim's
warm it
potato
up.
salad too, because she does.
I'm the one guy at Thanksgiving like, "Excuse me, can you warm my plate up, my potato salad? Just like scoop it to the side and like warm it up." That's me. I'm that
Baked
guy.
potatoes can go for all I care.
Yeah, baked potatoes can go. There are a lot of preparation. Like, what, it take like an hour to bake a potato? It's like,
But it's no work. You literally
It's
poke
all
a couple
work.
holes in the baked
It's
potato and
all
throw it in
work.
the oven.
And
The
then you
work
have
is
to cut-
after
you have
after
to
it's
cut it
baked.
open. You gotta put stuff inside of it.
And you got to scrape the
And you're
potato
saying
flesh
making
from
a
the skin.
potato salad isn't more work than that.
To consume, no. You just eat it.
Potato salad. Talking about making. You're not
I
talking
know,
about
because I still
consuming.
gotta work. I gotta open up the tin foil. I gotta cut it open. I gotta dig out the freaking potato from the skin. That's too
You
much
don't
work.
eat the skin?
What? See, that's my point.
The skin's
On
the
a
best
potato- on a
part.
baked potato?
Yeah.
No, son.
Skin's the best part.
No, son.
Dude, this is too much. I know. Just make it easy for me, man. I don't gotta work for my food, bro.
Bye-bye potato salad.
Every now and then. Yeah. All right.
Get your mayo
Okay.
out of my freaking potato.
Comment section.
You got one more? Or
No, I'm good. We going to the
All
comment
right, let's get to the
section.
comment section. We got this comment from Neutral Hair Care, and she says,
Or he.
after well, I'm guessing Neutral Hair Care. She said, I'm gonna go with she. You're a she today. Yeah. Neutral Hair Care says, actually, you don't own anything. We still have to pay property taxes. So I think she's referring to your house.
Yep.
What
Yeah.
say you, Michael Dufour? You?
It's a good point if she had said ground rent instead of property taxes. So what a
That's
lot of
a
people
solid.
don't know about property taxes, that's just the government saying we get money for you to live here. That's what property taxes
Pay
are.
the county, pay the state.
You still own the land, you still own the house, like it is your
Mhm.
property. You are just
Mhm.
paying taxes to the government to live on it, or to live there. Ground rent, like in Baltimore City, is somebody else physically owns the ground that your house is on. You own the structure, but you do not own the land. And so that would be an example of not actually owning your land or anything. But property taxes, that's, to me, that's not correct.
What say you, Coach?
The context of the comment that she was making was in reference to a video that was basically a gentleman saying that he wasn't certain if he was comfortable purchasing a home because renting gave him the opportunity to not have to have any maintenance, and the landlord's responsible for that, and he can move annually if he wants to. And I was like, you can buy and invest in yourself, because if you're paying $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 you're spending a year. Might as well invest it in yourself and put it in your own pocket. And that person responded, "Or you still don't own it. You still got to pay taxes." And I just flat out think that they're wrong. What side are we on? Like, you right or wrong? They're wrong, because, like Mike said, I own it, right? I'm paying taxes, and you pay taxes on everything. I buy some socks in the store. Like, I'm paying taxes at Target on the socks that I'm buying, but those are my
Bought
socks.
this shirt at Target.
Correct.
Do I not own
Right.
it?
All
Like,
facts.
I paid taxes on it.
Yeah. So I just think people have a seriously gross misunderstanding of what home buying and the process and what you pay and how it works. I mean, you can't make a deal like you at the flea market or the farmer's market. It's different, and it works so very different. But in some ways, it's just the same as when you buy anything
A car.
else. Yeah, it's the
Like,
same.
you buy a car, a boat,
Yeah.
any other large purchase like that. People aren't complaining about the taxes you got to pay to buy that, or the loan you have to get. I mean, they might complain about it, but
Yeah.
it's because of the size of the mortgage and size of the purchase
Right.
that makes people want to question and want to say this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
because
I was,
it's so out of, it's so hard for them to fathom spending 300,
That's why we're here, and
400,000.
that's why we're here to try to make it.
Yeah.
Bro, I was
bite-sized.
talking to a client that I'm working with right now. Was selling her house, and then she's buying a house. She doesn't have enough money to buy a house here in DC or Maryland. So I'm like, well, we need to go to Baltimore, right?
With a D or T?
Huh?
You said Baltimore. Is it Baltimore
With a D.
or Baltimore?
No,
Okay.
Baltimore.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same place.
Yeah, Baltimore. So
Wait, you mean Balmer?
Baltimore.
he left out a lot of letters. That was all vowels. Baltimore.
Balmer.
Be more. So I'm like, all right, well, probably where your money's going to take you is Baltimore. Like, it's some nice places in Baltimore that you can buy that are in your price range. And you can take all of this money and move it into the property and use the property as like a piggy bank. Because if I just give you, this lump sum money, you're going to blow it. I guarantee you're going to blow it, right? It's an inherited property. So she's like, okay, cool. Looking at houses in Baltimore. And then a couple weeks later, we submitted a couple offers. A couple days later, she's like, hey, all right, so I don't think I'm going to do this because I read somewhere that, if I buy this house, Baltimore doesn't appreciate. And if I try to sell it, I'm not going to get my money back. And I'm just like, oh, God, where did you read that? So right. We're all collectively rolling our eyes because that's just not factual. Baltimore doesn't appreciate as fast as DC. No.
Certain parts of Baltimore
some
have,
parts
though.
of Baltimore have.
Look over in Canton or...
Right,
those,
exactly.
yeah.
Blair, Edison. So that's just not a factual statement. But I say all that to say, with regard to neutral hair care, I think sometimes people read like something from somewhere that they heard somebody say one time, a long time ago, and at a barbershop or at a hair salon, and they
copy and paste it into
and they just kind of applied that to every single thing regarding real estate. And so she's coming up with this kind of this, I guess, Maoist, or like this, nobody owns anything. We're all just here for a while. We're all just borrowing what we have. And you don't even own your body because we're all transient beings, and you don't own your house. So Which is okay, cool. But like in reality, in the physical world, in reality, you actually do own it because you got a deed. It has your name on it. And if somebody tries to take it from you, you have ownership of it.
Title
You still got to
insurance.
pay taxes. We all got to pay taxes. You have to pay property taxes. You have to pay taxes on your car. You have to pay taxes when you buy a Snickers bar. Doesn't mean that you don't own the Snickers bar because in a couple hours you're going to prove that you own it, right? And so there's taxes. You got to pay the government.
What's the old saying? There's like two certainties in life: taxes and death. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally.
In the black community, you say, "Hey, all you gotta do, I don't gotta do nothing but stay black and die." Right? There's only two things. The government gonna take their share, but that doesn't. That is one of the many excuses that I think we come up with to not take action.
Mhm.
It's a good excuse to not take action, to say, well, the reason I'm not buying is I'm waiting for interest rates to come down, or the reason I haven't saved up any money to actually put towards a house is we don't own it anyway, and therefore it's better because I don't have to make repairs and I'm actually ahead in the game. But if we really looked at your financial profile, really are you, right?
Mhm.
And I think Marcus, Mike, y'all exactly correct. Like you do own it. Yes, you have to pay taxes on it, even when you have it 100% paid off. If you don't want to pay taxes, then that's another like issue. You have the right to petition your government for your grievances and maybe ask for. And there's other things that you can do for taxes too, right? Like you can get like tax abatements. You can get depending on how old you are. You can contest your property tax rate. But taxes does not have anything to do with ownership.
Mhm. Well said. You also said something that's very true. That me and Mike are always right.
That's
You
accurate.
guys are always right.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Lenders are always right.
Well, yeah.
Customer ain't
About
always
lending.
right.
Oh, look at this bromance.
Hey, listen, Ebony and Ivory.
You don't think we wore these hats like by accident, right? This was planned.
Oh, you guys are mad. Hey, remember that time Nick Bush came? We all was wearing the same color shirt.
Yes,
That was cool.
That's cute.
y'all was trying to be Bellevue DeVoe that day.
We were triplets, bro. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Real Estate Wire podcast. Once again, week after week, you guys continue to jump in and show us love.
Appreciate it.
If you're watching on the YouTube, like, subscribe, share this podcast with anybody that you might think is dope. Where can they find you at, Mike?
Anywhere on social media at Your Mortgage Guide.
Where can they find you at, Coach Marcus?
Instagram and Facebook at Mortgage Coach Marcus and at Fields Mortgage.
And I am Dan Wheeler, Sells Homes on all platforms. Thank you so much for joining the Real Estate Wire podcast. We are out.